MySchool Finance is a standalone module designed to simplify and integrate your invoicing and payment needs. Custom fee creation, configurable templates, and online payment options. We offer an API synchronization with Xero and custom exports for QuickBooks and Sage. Designate invoice payers and split payments. Build conditional pricing with custom fields to adapt to your invoicing needs. Invoice payers have access to their invoices, credit notes, and can settle unpaid bills with online payment options. No need for extra tools or portals. MySchool Finance has everything you need to streamline your financial process inside your institute. First step before using the module is to configure the various elements. If you have access to the configuration panel, then select the Business and Operations tab and configure Finance from the drop-down options. Otherwise, it is available via the Finance Advanced options. You must have the Configure Finances role activated in your user group. With MySchool Finance, we have various different permissions for this module, from controlling who can raise and edit invoices, who can edit and view the user's financial balance. Your dedicated CSM will be able to configure access rights for your users who need access to this module. Open the cog to create an organization. An organization is a financial entity. By default, we're putting here MySchool. Edit the original default entity of MySchool if you only have one organization. If you have multiple financial organizations and requirements, you can add new ones to the list. With other MySchool pages, the red asterisk means the field is mandatory. Let's change the name and add a start date for your financial year. For the moment, we offer invoicing to guardians only. If you are an adult institute, discuss your needs with your CSM. Account number generation can be automatic or manual to allow you to add your own account numbers. The account numbers are attributed to the payers. Determine the currency. Once invoices have been raised, you cannot change this. Add a prefix to your credit notes and invoices and set the start value. In this example, the first invoice will be classed as INV1. By default, the system logo will be used on the templates, but you can change this if needed. Add your VAT number if appropriate and determine the payment default period days. Now, let's add your contact details so these can be used on your templates. So now to configure the organization. The first step is that we need to add a tax rate. If you do not have a tax rate or do not apply tax to your invoices, then just use the no tax default value in the list. Now we have a tax rate, we can go ahead now and create the accounts. You cannot create fees, payments or accounts without a tax rate. Open the slide over and the mandatory fields are name, code, and choose a type from the drop-down options. Now add your tax rate from the list that you've created. The description field can be used to give instructions on what this account should be used for. Let's add the payment methods. You have to have a payment method per account created. If you have different payment methods to each account, you need to create these individually. There are bank transfer, cash, and check options. When you add each one, you must give them a name and fill out the mandatory fields. Our online payment providers are PaySimple and Stripe. You must have an account with these entities before configuring your online payment methods. You do not have to activate these options if you handle payments via another portal. Now we can start creating the fees. We'll look at the options for basic fees, staff and sibling discount, and then discover conditional fee creation. Let's give it a fee name and associate to an account. Now we can determine the bracket for this fee. Start with a simple tuition fee for a term. Each payment bracket will open options on the Pricing tab. In this case, we'll choose the most commonly used for tuition fees, which would be per school level. Click on the Pricing tab and enter the different values for each school level. It is the same principle for class levels as well. You can add the subjects from a drop-down list from the already pre-created subjects in your system. You can also have a fee per student and a fee per family, which are single fee entries. We'll look at conditional pricing later, so let's now go to the Discount tab. There are two discounts that can be applied to a generated invoice. Of course, if you wish to apply ad hoc discounts, then it's best to use a credit note instead. There are staff and sibling discounts available. You can choose the order in which they are applied, if both are used for the fee. The staff discount is a percentage of the total invoice item. Sibling discount is applied to the second child attached to the invoice payer. Apply a flat rate or a percentage. The Apply to Group slider determines if the sibling discount should be applied if dependents are within the billing run. Now let's try and add a fee with a condition. These types of fees are calculated depending on a custom field selection. Here we have a school transport field with 4 different options. Each has a different price for the transport services. In this case, we build a fee per student. No discounts, but apply conditional pricing. Let's leave the default price as 0, which means if none of the above values are found, then no fee will be applied. Okay, so now when we raise an invoice, it will check the student custom field for the options above and apply the fee accordingly to their grid. Build as many fees as you need, and year on year you can alter the pricing by selecting the year drop-down. A good tip is to start to order your list views. I prefer using numbers for the most common or active items, and if a fee is retired, then I add a Z and a year value. This will push the numbers to the top and the archived values to the bottom of the list. We can now move to the templates and look at the default layout. Open the Templates tab. There are 3 default templates which can be modified: your invoice template, your credit note, and the receipt. There are separate bulk email templates for the finance module as well. The document-specific templates are used on the invoice management page. Bulk email templates are used for the balance page. Open the invoice template and look at the options available. Before we make any changes, we'll check out what the default PDF looks like. We have the organization logo, contact details, and a header table, with information pulling from replacement tags. Note that underneath we have a payment table in square brackets. This creates the line items, so must always be present in your templates. Try to avoid adding images, as they can lose quality when copied from other sources and can also be distorted on different screen resolutions. Great, everything is set up and ready to assign payers and raise a few test invoices.